lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. The lions may grow weak and hungry. The lions may grow weak and hungry. Yeah, yeah. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Hey!
All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Yes, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Yes, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Yes, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Oh yeah!
Well, that's in the video now.
Oh, hi Cityview campers. I'm working from home right now, like a lot of people. And that can make it hard for me to remember to make healthy choices about what I eat or get up and be active. One thing that helps me is to remember all of the things that we learned at our Anatomy Academy summer camp a few years ago. God made us great bodies that can do fantastic things, and by looking after them, we can make sure we're ready for whatever God has for us to do. Hi everybody, this is Sarah. Sarah is 12 and her family goes to Cityview. Sarah, what are some of the activities that you would have been doing around spring this time of year?
I would be doing baseball, ballet, camping.
Okay, and when did baseball start this year?
Later.
Yes, beginning of July. What is different about how you're playing baseball right now?
Well, there's a lot more spreading out. They're constantly switching out the balls and cleaning them. When we take water breaks, we put hand sanitizer on first. We don't switch partners as much. And in general, we just try and stay farther away.
Sure. What are all the cones by the dugout for?
They're to help remind us where our bags need to be so they're not too close to each other.
Cool. And are there parents helping you to do this? What do they do?
There are parents that make sure, like, ask you if you've felt any symptoms or if your family felt any symptoms. They probably set up cones before we get there and remind us to stay 6 feet away.
Excellent. And is it good to be able to get back to baseball?
It is enjoyable, and it's probably one of the easier sports to deal with because you are already a decent amount away. When we're doing like batting and stuff, we are reminded to only take on the base, only go on the base, but then like step away to take out. And other stuff like if you're on first, we set out a big net, and you instead of going on the base, you'd go on the other side of the net.
Great. And when you got to start playing baseball again, did it feel good, or was it like, oh, I'd rather still be in my room?
Well, I was kind of used to laying around most of the days, but it was nice to get outside and enjoyable, even though I was sore afterwards. But that happens every year, so you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Sarah. God doesn't just put our bodies together so that all the parts work together to do great things. God puts people together so that everyone in a group can work together to do great things. He puts together people from all over the world. We see a bit of that at Cityview. God made sure that the first followers of Jesus would become a group of people from all sorts of places working together, just like the parts of the body work together. Let's take a look at a story about that.
The Jesus Storybook Bible, written by Sally Lloyd Jones
and illustrated by Jago. A New Way to See. The story of Paul from Acts 6 to 9, 12 to 28, Colossians 2, Romans 8, and Ephesians 2. Of all the people who kept the rules, Saul was the best. "I'm good at being good," he'd tell you. He was very proud and very good, but he wasn't very nice. Saul hated anyone who loved Jesus. He traveled around looking for them. He wanted to catch them and put them in prison. He wanted everyone to forget all about Jesus. He didn't believe Jesus was the rescuer. He didn't believe Jesus was alive either. You see, Saul had never met Jesus. So one day, Jesus met Saul. Saul was on his way to Damascus when suddenly a dazzling light flashed like lightning. It was brighter than the sun. It was too bright. Saul shielded his eyes and fell to the ground. He heard a loud voice. It was too loud. It gave Saul a headache. "Saul, Saul," said the loud voice, "why are you fighting me?" "Lord," Saul answered, "who are you?" "I am Jesus," said the voice. "When you hurt my friends, you are hurting me too." Saul's whole body trembled. "Go to the city," Jesus said. "I'll tell you what to do." When Saul opened his eyes, he couldn't see. His helpers had to hold his hand and lead him like a little child. Saul was blind for 3 whole days, and yet it was as if he was seeing for the very first time. Meanwhile, there was a man called Ananias who loved Jesus. Jesus came to him in a dream. "Go to Saul and pray for him, and I will make him see again." Ananias knew all about Saul and how he hated Jesus' followers. "Lord, he has come to hurt us." But Jesus told Ananias, "Saul is the one I've chosen to tell the whole world who I am." So Ananias went to Saul. "Brother Saul," Ananias said, "it was Jesus you met on the road." And Ananias prayed for Saul. Suddenly Saul could see again, but he saw everything differently. He wasn't mean anymore. He even changed his name from Saul to Paul, which means small and humble, the very opposite of proud. And do you know what Ananias's name means? The Lord is full of grace. Grace is just another word for gift, which is funny, because that's just what Paul's message was all about from then on. It's not about keeping the rules, Paul told people. You don't have to be good at being good for God to love you. You just have to believe what Jesus has done and follow him. Because it's not about trying, it's about trusting. It's not about rules, it's about grace, God's free gift that cost him everything. What had happened to Paul? He met Jesus. Paul got a new job. He called himself a servant and traveled everywhere, telling everyone about Jesus. He got shipwrecked 3 times. He even ended up in prison. "God loves us," he wrote from prison. "Nothing can ever, no, not ever, separate us from the never-stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love of God he showed us in Jesus." And so it was, just as God promised Abraham that dark night all those years before. The family of God's children grew and grew, until one day they would come to number more than even all the stars in the sky. There are many parts to a body, but all those parts make only one body. 1 Corinthians 12:12. It's Anatomy Break with Intern Annie and Co-op Cassie.
Body break, keep moving. Body break, keep moving. Oh yeah. Body break, body break. When the spirit hits you, you know you've got to. No special secret.
that you were resurrected, and I'm still laying down in that grave. Now I'm changed. I'm not the same, no, no. And now I'm moving in your direction, and I feel good about that. Make me wanna jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Don't you know I do it night and day? I said I jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Oh yeah, make me wanna jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Don't you know I do it night and day? I said I jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Oh yeah, you'll never change. It stays the same. So get moving in God's direction, and you'll feel good about that. Woo! I feel good.